few weeks ago, Miriam and I finished up a 5-day, 4-night trip to the mountains of Virginia. And that sort of set our appetite for something bigger. So we spent a little time talking about it, and I think we've set up ourselves on a destination. So here's our destination. I have been all over the United States, and I have been to the West Coast several times, but I have never driven from the East Coast to the West Coast in one trip. Sort of been a bucket list item, and so that's the plan. I plan on taking the Spyder from our home in Virginia Beach, Virginia, to the West Coast. The actual destination and the route still up in the air. Somewhere along the Northern California coast, Washington or Oregon, probably someplace in wine country, so I can take Miriam to the West Coast wine country, which is something I've been promising her. So that's our plan. We think this trip is probably going to take somewhere between 10 to 14 days. And yeah, I know I could just jump up on the interstate and be there in a couple of days, but that's not the goal. The goal is to actually enjoy the trip, see some sights along the way. Now here's the format that we think this trip is going to take. I will take the Spyder leaving here, and Miriam will join me somewhere en route. Why? Well, I'm self-employed. I have the flexibility that Miriam does not have. She has a regular 9-to-5 office job. So she will join me en route. We will then spend some time on the West Coast, probably an additional week, and then we will fly home together. And I will then ship the Spyder home. Why am I shipping the Spyder? It's actually cheaper to ship the Spyder home than to drive it back home and take an additional 10 days. I have flexibility, but I'm not that flexible. So when do we want to do this? We think we're going to do this in the spring of 2018, just 9 months away. Why that long? Well, it's going to take me a little bit of time to put it together. There's a lot of planning involved. And I also want to get as many of the people who watch this video on board as possible to actually give me suggestions on places to go, routes to follow, and maybe even a destination. And on top of that, we need a theme, something like California or bust. So we like some feedback from you, the viewing audience who watch these little videos that I enjoy making, to give us some feedback on what you think. Now, as we go through the planning process, I plan on shooting some more videos on that process, the equipment we're going to take, the route, the destinations, and give you updates. Now, once we're actually underway on the trip, I'm thinking we'll probably do a live stream here in our home in Virginia Beach as we sort of baptize a Spyder with water from the Atlantic Ocean on the beach. And then when we get to California, or the West Coast, wherever we end up, we'll do another live streaming event where we baptize the Spyder with water from the Pacific Ocean. I also plan on doing a lot of videos along the way and updating them every 1 or 2 days. So, that said, it's a big plan, very ambitious, something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I hope that you will come along with us. Thanks for watching. Synchronizing audio and video on take 3. We're probably going to do this in the spring of 2018. We're probably going to do this in the spring of 2018. Why the spring? Well, this gives me more time to actually plan the trip out. I